Today I'm going to talk to you about problems that occur when you can't properly digest fat. And ladies, if you're watching, this is really something you want to be paying attention to because it affects you more. But fellas, I've never said fellas ever in a broadcast, but fellas, this applies to you as well. And so we're going to go ahead and dive into that. And so what I'm going to do is talk to you about the opposite of the broken medical model, which is understanding the power of food and nutrition and digestion. And when you fix these things, amazing things happen. Okay, so let's not wait to be reactive before we start taking care of our bodies. Let's do things now where we're already feeling well. Or if you are sick and you've been down that medical model and you know that it's broken, this resonates with you, it's time to look at food to see how food can really heal. So before I do anything, let me just remind everybody what food is, okay? Because food is the real medicine. This is really medicine, okay? This is the good stuff. All right? Happy. This is what the body uses to heal. This is what we're made up of. And what food is are 6 things. So foods are fats, carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and the key that has changed my practice and my community is enzymes, okay? Today I'm going to highlight 6 very common and serious complications when you can't properly digest fat. These are complications when you can't digest fat. Dry skin, hair loss, pregnancy, keeping a baby to term and or fertility issues, tremors, blood pressure issues, and a toxicity in the body, okay? So when we talk about the body, okay, we have to understand one of the most important systems in the body is your lymphatics, okay, or are your lymphatics. The lymphatics is your body's sewer system. This sewer system, your lymphatics, runs on fat, okay? So basically, I want you to think of your lymphatics as your immune system. It's where the white blood cells live. We have lymph nodes. Everybody's heard of lymph nodes, right? Well, lymph nodes are basically like white blood cell hotels where these white blood cells, they go and they rest and they get renewed, rejuvenated, and they go out and they kill the bad guys. That's what white blood cells do, and they live in your lymphatics. So you've heard of, lymphatic drainage, probably. You've heard of the lymph nodes. You've heard of all this, but just understand that the lymphatics is your gut. It is your immune system. Very key to also understand that this is the system that removes waste from your body. And so if this is not able to occur, if you're not effectively removing waste from your body, what do you think is going to happen over the course of time? Nothing good, right? You're going to start to see symptoms that turn into worse and worse symptoms that turn into disease eventually. One of the top things up on my board is pregnancy and infertility issues, and this is something that's it makes a lot of people very anxious because they want to start a family, they want to have kids, they're getting older, whatever the case is. But the missing component is if you're not digesting fat well, fats and proteins make your hormones. So clearly, having a baby has a lot to do with hormones, right? But if you're not eating enough fat and protein, or if you're not digesting fat and protein well, now you're going to have a deficiency in hormone creation. So it's kind of like a Super 8 hotel hormone quality versus a Ritz-Carlton hormone quality, if you see what I mean. So you have to be able to digest these things in order for the body to make what it needs to make. So people often say you are what you eat. Wrong. That is so wrong, okay? You are not what you eat at all. You are what you digest. Just because you're taking vitamin C supplements doesn't mean your body is vitamin C fortified. Just because you are, eating plenty of, let's say, protein in your meal does not mean you're properly digesting it. Just because you're eating a lot of green leafy vegetables does not mean your body is properly digesting it. You need enzymes to digest these things. Make no mistake about that. That's a fact, okay? You need enzymes to digest that, okay? And so enzymes digest food, and they also heal your gut. And so when I talk about these fat deficiencies, these 6 serious fat deficiencies, there's a product I'm going to talk about later that you could pick up if you want, that this is what this does. It helps to clean up the lymphatics. And so the lymphatics is essentially your immune system. You guys understand? Immune system, lymphatics, boom. Digestion is 2 things, guys. 1, how well you convert food into nutrition. Okay, how well you're converting the food you're eating to be used. And then second, digestion is how well how well you eliminate waste. Okay? Do you want to know what food helps do both of these things? Enzymes. It's just the way it is. Enzymes digest food, and they help to heal the immune system. Okay? So back to the board here. If you're not properly digesting fat or eating enough fat, you're going to start to lose your hair. You're going to start to have dry skin. So you need to eat more fat. Eat more quality fat, like avocados, like coconut oil, like walnuts, cashews, okay, pastured eggs. If you're going to have like raw cheese on occasion, if you can handle that. Okay, these are just some examples of good quality fats. All right. If you're not properly digesting fats, then you're going to have problems having a baby to term. You're going to have a problem even getting pregnant. And now let's talk about tremors here. This is a problem because this is going to affect your nervous system. Also, very huge with how well you digest fat. Okay. So are you guys seeing a trend here? Are you seeing a trend that when I talk about this nutrient fat, it's also a source of energy, which I didn't even have on my board. So this could be number 7. Number 7 could be energy loss. If you're not properly digesting fat, that could be an energy loss, because fat is one of the macronutrients that supplies energy for us right after carbohydrates. Okay, so fat is a great source of energy, but it's also going to be a problem if you can't digest it with all of these things I've written here, like tremors. Okay, so this has a lot of nervous system involvement, and if the nervous system isn't happy, it's also in part because you're fat deficient. You wouldn't necessarily think that. Okay, next. Erratic blood pressure, okay? Erratic blood pressure. If your heartbeat starts to change a lot, if it starts to skip beats, if it starts to do a lot of crazy things, well, it's because you have a toxicity buildup, okay? And so if your lymphatics aren't properly able to remove waste, then that's going to start to affect the blood, and the blood's going to become more toxic. It's going to affect the heart, and then a number bonus 8 I could put in here is nausea, okay? When your kidneys can't properly clean the blood, that's going to create a symptom of nausea. So a lot of times, people think that nausea is stomach, that they have a problem with their stomach, because obviously you think nausea, you think stomach. But I'm telling you, more often than not, it's the fact that your kidneys can't properly remove that waste, and so the kidneys have to clean the blood. And if you have lymphatic buildup, if you have if the garbage men are on strike in your body, aka your lymphatics, if the garbage men are on strike in your body, that means that garbage is accumulating, right? So we need to remove it, and if it doesn't get removed, guess what happens? You start to get nausea. You start to get an erratic heartbeat. You start to get hair loss, or even before these things, you get some of these symptoms, right? It's just if it's left for too long, these problems get more and more serious. So what do? What's something I can do, Dr. Christine? I'm hearing what you're saying. This makes perfect sense to me. What should I do? Well, the very first thing you should do is make sure that you're getting all the refined junk out of your diet, okay, the things that are really crappy for us, like canola oils. Canola oil is terrible. You shouldn't be consuming that ever if you can avoid it. Unfortunately, it's a very cheaply processed oil, so it's in everything. It's annoying, okay? Making sure that you're doing your part at removing the things that are really junky, or if you're going to take part in that, just don't have that as much as you once did. Second, you want to take a digestive enzyme. You just do. Why? Because enzymes digest food. Enzymes digest fat. So an enzyme that has a lot of an enzyme for fat is going to be lipases. So fats are also known as lipids. If I have a cell right here, I want you to digest fat, carb, protein, so they're nice little specks that can easily get into that cell and provide that cell energy. A good thing, right? But if I have big particles of fat, carb, and protein that they're not properly digested, these are way too big to get into that cell. This cell membrane is much like a balloon, okay? So it's going to bounce off of this balloon, if you will. It's going to bounce off of this membrane, and it's going to like bounce out of there, and these undigested food pieces are going to land in your joints, and that's going to cause inflammation. This is going to cause energy loss. This is going to cause symptoms, okay? Undigested food is going to lead to a complete list of symptoms. Here are some of the symptoms I could just rattle off to you that are coming from undigested food. Stiff, achy joints, headache, heartburn, left-sided pain, right-sided pain, diarrhea, gas, nausea. Excuse me. These are all signs that you have inflammation in your gut because you're not properly digesting food. So how do you remedy that? To a great extent, you take a digestive enzyme. You want to check out mine? Great. Go to omegadigestion.com. omegadigestion.com. That's my company. Go to omegadigestion.com. It's right there. Smart Carb. In that product, you have turmeric, black pepper, cinnamon to help support the liver and the pancreas. Amazing. Very naturally anti-inflammatory. Using food as the real medicine. Okay. And the reason why we need digestive enzymes is because they're devoid in our food supply, because anything heated over 118 degrees Fahrenheit, enzymes are gone. Okay, so anything in a can, in a pouch, anything that's been microwaved, grilled, steamed, whatever, devoid of enzymes, and now you're asking your immune system enzymes to convert from healing your body to digesting that meal. And so how long do you think your body can give up healing, the enzymes healing, to keep doing that to digest food? Well, symptoms are going to start to result because those healing enzymes want to remain healing the body. But the fact is if you have all this undigested food floating around, your immune system, your lymphatics have to take over. Okay, they have to protect you.